These are some of the sounds of Bryant Park in Manhattan. You might hear a constant rolling type of sound. That's me pushing my scooter on the left side. Just wanted to bring you some sounds of the city as we look at the Tascam Portacapture X8. What you're hearing now is the Portacapture in its A-B pattern. There's not a lot of hustle, not a lot of bustle out here right now, but we'll get some sounds from here, and we'll go up to Central Park, see what's going on there. Hope you enjoy this audio sample. We've got the sounds of some nice crunchy ground behind me, and so as people walk past, we're able to pick up some of that. We're just using this as a field recorder right now, just getting a sense of how it functions out in an actual environment. I hear a bird over to my right. That might end up being your left, but there it is. It's a beautiful day out here. This is about as quiet as it gets. It's a little bit early today. Even I haven't had my breakfast yet, and so I might find a diner, get some toast, fruit, omelet, I don't know. Maybe have some of whatever the birds are having. I am rolling my scooter through some of this crunchy ground. There's a major bicycle ride tour of the 5 boroughs going on occasion. New York does this sort of thing, and they shut down major city streets in Manhattan and other parts for bicyclers. It's kind of nice. Just entering a little bit more of a populated part of Bryant Park. If you listen closely, you can usually hear multiple languages spoken at one time. Excuse me. Excuse me. Thank you.
Anyone sitting here? Not on the table. No.
On occasion, you'll find one or more people standing in a narrow walkway, just unaware that they are around a million of their closest friends who are trying to get by. You just have to gently remind them that they are not here alone, and they will usually move. We're just walking around the park here, looking for an easy exit where I can just roll my scooter out and not have to carry it up or downstairs. Once we get to Central Park, we'll do some more AB mic configuration testing, and we'll put it in XY testing so that you can hear the difference there. And I brought with me my SM35 earworm. It's a kind of a headset mic, just kind of goes around the ears and hangs the mic right in front of your mouth. It's a condenser mic, like these, but single mic. So it'll be a mono signal, and it'll be blocking out a lot of the background noise. That'll be a good way of testing another of this field recorder's capabilities using an external mic. They're putting up barriers, blocking off roads. Might take me a minute to figure out how to get out of this park. Here's a piece they haven't blocked off yet, but now there are steps. Let me go back. Here's some beautiful flowers out. If my wife were here with me, I'm sure she would have taken some of the beautiful photos that are not getting taken right now. But I hope you hear the beauty of the scenery in my voice. We're getting our first gusts of wind. Now, one of the things I plan to do when I get to Central Park, after finding something to eat, I'll put on the earworm and I'll get on my scooter and I'll do some riding around the park. I have a very nice walking, jogging, riding track. And I'll put on the earworm and do a little bit of talking while I'm riding, and we'll see how that works out. That's another way that you can use this field recorder. I'm out of Bryant Park. People are walking by on the phone, carrying luggage. We're near several major transit hubs. Bryant Park, very centrally located in Manhattan. Just a couple of blocks away in one direction, you've got Grand Central Station. A few blocks in another direction, you have Penn Station. That's where I come in and out of. And then straight ahead, just a few blocks, is the Port Authority. This is very common for people to be walking by with luggage. So we're getting close to that ride. There must be thousands upon thousands of bikers on that ride. I think it was something like $100 a head to get in on that. I chose not to get in on that. But it's something I would have enjoyed. I don't see any scooters there. It looks like it's exclusively bicycles, but I happen to have a bicycle that I could have used there. There's a person riding with a back seat that they're towing with a child. We'll get close to this event here. You can hear some of the bicycles roll past. I'm probably going to have to set this down so that I can find an opening to get across the street. Looks like there might be an opening here. Nope, not an opening. Others are just trying their luck and taking a run when they see a little bit of a space. I'm a little bit more encumbered. Otherwise, I might be inclined to do the same. All right, I'm taking my shot right now. There's a lady walking next to me. And I have made it through alive. All right, I'm going to go ahead and stop right now. I'm going to head to Central Park. We'll test the mics out there. I am here near the entrance of Central Park. And I just joined in with the bikers to get down the street. It's really an amazing thing. It's a major throughway here in Manhattan, completely closed, and you just motor on as fast as your vehicle will take you through lights. Lights are not even a suggestion. They're just to be ignored because there are no cars rolling in Manhattan. Very few places they can right now. So my scooter will do about 40, maybe 45 on the downhill. Let's just say it was a nice ride. I've got an even nicer ride ahead, and for the moment, I'm going to go ahead and sign off and maybe get a bite to eat, maybe get into the park, but I wanted to let you hear some of the sounds of the ride. Welcome to New York, everybody. This is how we do it here. Hope you enjoy your stay. I'm in the park, and I'm so confident in 32-bit float that I'm going without headphones. I don't need to monitor to see whether I'm clipping or not. because I literally can't clip in 32-bit float. So I took it off of auto gain. I put it a little bit above center and just went for it. I've played around with this enough. I know exactly how it's going to go. And it's kind of nice to be able to do this without headphones, although headphones help you get a sense of what's being recorded. Since I'm recording in such wide stereo, I don't know, for instance, if my voice is actually centered or not. Just being slightly off-centered can make a difference in the recording. So we're still using the AB pattern. If we were using the XY pattern, it probably wouldn't matter all that much. I also can't hear things like plosives, but I'm reasonably confident that plosives are not going to be a problem in this pattern, the way I'm holding the microphone. I'm in Central Park. I'm in a very quiet part of the park. I was riding around the park. I got into that big bike tour. I said there must have been thousands. It feels like millions when you're there. The bicycles, they just keep coming. And the only way to get through was to just get into the tour, ride a little bit, and find a way to get off where I want it to so that I can take the short loop around the park, because the bike tour has just taken over every part of Manhattan that anybody wants to be in. So I'm finally here. I am sitting on a giant rock. I don't know why I'm on a rock. There are benches all around. But there are these great, big, giant, climbable rock structures. And I'm on one for no good reason. It's New York. It's Central Park. Pull up a rock. Let's have a chat. I'm hearing some bird song out here. Both sides, actually, and so I'm going to be quiet a little bit and let you hear the sounds of the park. Some very nice sounds in the park. A few people walking by here and there. 2 women in a baby carriage speaking a different language. A traditional looking family with a small child. Can't place the accent, but... And dogs. Oh, dogs. Central Park. New York is a dog city. It's a very doggy city. And they come out in the park. You see big, giant dogs, big dogs, and little dogs. Every species of dog. All right, I'm gonna put on the headset mic in just a little bit. I'm gonna go ahead and leave the relative comfort of the ginormous rock. See if I can get my 65-pound scooter down this little slope with one hand while I hold Portacapture in the other. Try to do all of that without ripping up my ankles on the kickstand. As I have done that before, and it does not feel good at all. French Bulldog. Helicopter overhead. I do not have a line of sight. I'm walking on the right side, probably your left, people passing on the other side of me on occasion. I'm not terribly familiar with this part of Central Park. I'm here a lot. I love Central Park. But honestly, it's really big. It's a city unto itself. And I only know bits and pieces of it. Approach this saxophonist and get some of these sweet tunes. This is one who actually knows what he's doing. And we're moving past that bad man playing those bad tones, and I mean bad in the best of ways. I do not carry cash. He did not receive a tip from me. I suppose that makes me a bad man. Not in the best of ways. And on my next stop, I'm going to go ahead and change configurations. I'm going to put on my headset mic, talk to you a little bit. You'll hear the tremendous reduction in sounds. Now, there's always something going on in the park. Central Park is a very interesting and unique ecosystem. I do not fully understand it, but I love it. It's a safe place for people to come out and be weird in a city that is itself a safe place for people to come out and be weird or normal. They're perfectly normal people in Central Park, just walking around enjoying the day. And then maybe you'll walk past someone with their hair on fire, just as an art piece. Don't judge. Don't make it weird. Some roller skaters.
I hope you can come to my little birthday party, but I understand if you don't want COVID, haha.
That was an interesting snippet of conversation. Could probably do a whole show just based on snippets of conversation you pick up walking around in New York. And I'm going to go ahead and switch to my headset. Okay, we're back. You're going to hear quite a different sound now. I have changed it from stereo to mono, and I am using my headset microphone. I don't even know what the gain is. I just double checked and made sure that I'm using 32-bit float, and so whatever the gain, there will be no distortion in this track. And understand that this is a microphone that is very, very close to my mouth. Very close to my mouth. I'm going to put this on hold here, and so it will not stop recording, or nothing will be tripped by accident. The hold feature, all of these types of recorders have a hold feature. All right. You're not actually supposed to ride your scooter in the park. You're supposed to dismount and then ride. But I am riding at the moment. You might hear some whistling. That is the wind on the microphone. If it gets too bad, this segment might get chopped up. But if you were doing a recording for your podcast and you wanted to do a ride, this is what it would sound like. You would, of course, need a microphone similar to the one that I am using. All right, okay. I've got my kickstand activated, which is kind of a deadly mistake if I were going any faster. All right, we got outside of the park and onto the track where we have got rollerbladers. I have never seen this many rollerbladers. Wonder if there's a rollerblading convention going on. All right, being passed up by some very enthusiastic bicyclers. It's not a race or anything, but I could smoke these fools if I wanted to. All right. I'll get around the bladers. They actually take up a lot of space because they swing their legs from side to side, and that swing makes them a little bit dangerous, so I can't get as close to them without risking them or me. Okay, now we're moving. Yeah, there's a horse over there. I got way more than 1 horsepower, so I leave the horses in the dust. Also, the horses are only allowed to walk around here. They're not allowed to trot, so probably not a fair contest. Let's get around this clutch of bicycles. A little bit ago when I was riding, I'm in my proper lane, going in the proper direction. There are 2, count them, 2 bicyclers coming directly at me in the wrong direction. So I kept going. I was going about 25. And they just kept coming. 15 feet, 10 feet. They were not going to move. I did not have time to swerve. There was not a lot of room between them. I very adroitly split the difference between the 2. We made it. No one died. No one was even scraped. I'm probably doing 30. Sorry about the wind. Wave to the horse. All right, slowing it down now. in this particular part of the track, you get bicyclers, joggers, scooterers. I'm one of those. You get walkers, and then you have crossings where you get people crossing the streets, dogs, children. So you got to slow way down. Way down. And we got some crossers going in front of me. The pedestrians in New York are not afraid of oncoming motorized vehicles. What a city. You're not going to hear all these stereo sounds. Would have been impossible to record from the built-in microphones. There's a fellow scooter. Built-in microphones are would have been a tough record here. Because I've got the Portacapture around my neck on a very expensive camera strap. Riding through horse poop here. Okay, I've got getting a lot of bumps here. I'm gonna pull over here and see if I've got any issues with my tires. Everything looks okay. Could have just ran into a bumpy patch there, but you cannot have an issue with your tires or alignment or anything like that when you're doing 40. I don't care how good the road is. Always good to stop and check when things seem suspicious. Scooter's got decent shocks, and so I can hit the bumps pretty confidently. I've learned how to take the bumps pretty well. Because you gotta know how to hit the bumps without necessarily slowing down. When you're in fast traffic, you can't slow down just because there's a bump in front of you. So you gotta take it, gotta absorb it, let yourself go a little jelly, keep moving. Try not to take them at an angle, take them straight on. Whoa, whoa. All right, I just had a situation where a very inexperienced bicycler pulled alongside me. I wasn't going fast at all, thank goodness. I gotcha. She almost destroyed me and her. Had to do a very fast, hard emergency stop, which is very dangerous on a scooter. But thankfully, learning how to stop was one of the first things that I did. So I know how to do an emergency stop. If that had been my first day on the scooter, maybe even my first week on the scooter, that could have ended badly. She didn't see where she was going. She was wavering and wobbling. I kind of don't think she should be out here. I mean, this is generally a safe place for bicyclers of all skill levels, but there may be, even more beginner paths to be on than this one. All right. Moving through, though. When you're on one of these personal electric vehicles and you're in a crowd like this, you've always got to drive defensively. You've always got to assume that the person next to you doesn't know what they're doing. You've got to assume some of the responsibility that should be theirs. You got to assume your responsibility and a little bit of the other person's. If everybody does that, everybody stays alive. Unfortunately, everyone doesn't do that, and so sometimes you have to do an emergency procedure. If I get past here, it's particularly crowded today, but there's usually a section around here where you can really open it up. So I'm going to pull along the route. There are two pedicabs going side by side, taking up a bunch of space. Finally got around them. All right. Maybe we can do 30 around here. Slow it down again. This is not a day for speed demoning, that's for sure. It's a beautiful day for a ride, and I generally like riding with people around. I like the company of strangers doing the same thing that I'm doing. All right, let's open her up a little bit. Woo! Yeah, boy. Giddy up. And we will come to a natural slowdown here. All right. Yeah. Now we're riding. And we're slowing down again. Pedestrians. All right. Very nice. All right, we're gonna get off the road and get back into the park. And I will pack away all of my gear, and then we will find a street headed toward Penn Station, and I'm gonna probably go back home. Either that or I'll stay in the park for a while and do a little bit of writing. I've actually got work to do today. I'm a freelance writer, for anyone who doesn't know. And I've got quite a bit of that to do. So, yeah, I think what I'm going to do is go ahead and tap this exit. Alright, going through a little bit of sand there. Probably need to go about 40 blocks from right here. Let's see. Probably at about 75th. I need to get to 34th. So, all right, I'm going to cut it off here. Okay, we've got some AB going. There's some Disney characters, Batman, King Kong. This is the madness of 42nd Street. Welcome to the Deuce. A little bit of street music. There was a motorcade that went by a little bit earlier. Somebody rich and famous mixing it up with the plebes. It is not an unusual sight here. Mostly people don't even stop. Times Square, a little bit noisy today. Lots of people, tables, seats. Such as middle of Times Square. Just walking along with a million of my closest friends. I have no idea what that background noise is. Something other than the general hum. I would get off my horse and walk with the pedestrians. Capture a little bit of this noise orchestra. Motorcycle idling, I don't know why. Looks like Broadway is completely blocked off. All right. That underlying noise is let up. Maybe we can catch some street hawkers. See how many languages we can detect.
Have you been recording mine? What? Never have. Never been. It's like the Olive Garden at New York. Here's the Hard Rock Cafe. Normally, I don't walk this far, not when I've got my scooter. So I'm pushing a giant scooter alongside me on the crowded sidewalks. It's not that I'm strange in doing it. People are pushing all kinds of things. But I tend to find it pretty awkward. So I might hop on my horse, get in the road, and get to Penn the old-fashioned way, but I didn't want to miss out on the opportunity of catching some of the natural Manhattan sounds. It's a good test of a field recorder.
Yeah, well, it's really not.
Microphone has very good range, so you can pick up people from a distance. I try to avoid running over Elmo. And more Minnie Mouses. I see more Minnies than Mickeys these days. People dress up in these full body costumes. I hope they're making plenty of money because they are weird and creepy. They scare me. They make me nervous. And then some of them, you know, they get tired. They just lift up the headpiece, and so they're kind of walking around. So you can see their face, but their face is under this big giant head. It's just 10 gallons of wrong. I don't like it. It's like clowns. Ew. Next time I do this, I might take a camera, something like a GoPro, so that you can see what I'm seeing, share the experience more fully. Note to self, buy GoPro. Note to self, learn how to use a GoPro. Might be fun to film some of my rides. Tell you what else might be fun. Calling this a day off and not doing any work at all. That sounds like fun. Let's see what street I'm on. Let's see.
That is a city tour.
Downtown New York is full of these COVID testing tents. I know that New York is full of these COVID testing tents. You can't go that many blocks without COVID testing. The opportunity is there. You take your insurance. I do not utilize these services. One, I do not live in New York, and so if these are free tests that wouldn't apply to me, and my insurance would pay, but I have at-home COVID tests, and if I felt like I need something more, I'd just call my doctor, and she would just tell me to go to the local hospital, which is actually just a few blocks away from where I live, and get a COVID test there. But the availability of COVID testing around here, it's plentiful. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. The people who are not tested are the people who don't want to be tested. Same with vaccines. There are vaccinations being offered for free everywhere. You can get a vaccination. I had my 2 Moderna shots and then 2 booster shots since then. There's no such person who wants a vaccine but doesn't have one. Certainly not in the New York, New Jersey area. I suspect the same would be true in Pennsylvania. I honestly suspect the same would be true pretty much everywhere in the States. I will note that New York has been a city that's been very good about masks. They've been wearing masks. Everybody wears a mask, except for now. The last couple of weeks. The masks have pretty much come off. Mask mandates are gone, and so nobody's wearing a mask. I'm not wearing a mask at the moment, and I usually wear a mask. I'm not a fanatic, but I tend to wear a mask when I'm around people. There's a kind of a lifting of the spirits in the sense that the worst is behind us for now. Everybody is braced for another wave. I mean, I've got a mask on my chin. This chin wrap, I pull it up from time to time. I get in an elevator or something like that. I'm outside. I'm generally not wearing a mask. I never wear it when I'm riding, because that just doesn't make any sense. But people are feeling a lot better about being out and about in New York. But generally, whatever the mandates are, by and large, the people of Manhattan, at least, I don't get out to Chinatown too often. I used to work in Chinatown, but I don't get out there too often now. But from what I've seen, they're pretty respectful about things like mask wearing, and they listen to what they tell them on the local news, and it's a pretty good city in that way. So no matter what you hear, protests or this, that, or the other, in actual day-to-day life,
I know. Wait, what?
when the city says put on your mask, people put on their mask. It's by and large people in New York, they want to live. All right. Let's see where I am. 37th. I guess I'll continue with my walk. Music is coming from either a car or a bicycle, I can't tell. Just waiting to be able to cross. Understand that crossing the street in New York is not a matter of waiting for the light to change. We don't care about the traffic light. We're just waiting until it looks like there's enough of us to overtake any cars that might be bearing down. Because once the mass of people start moving, cars are going to stop. Sorry about the noise there. I had to tie my coat around my waist a little bit tighter. I woke up this morning, it was 40 degrees. It's probably around 70. Actually, it's 64 right now, not even 70, but too warm for a coat. It's strange. Sometimes 64 around here will still require a coat. The wind is strong and cold, but it's pretty decent. Although I will note, almost everybody on the street right now, besides me, is wearing a coat, long sleeves, flannel, leather jacket. We're walking past Weed World. Yeah, weed's legal. It's just not an issue. So, I don't buy it. I don't use it. I will never use it. I have no desire to. But all of the fear, uncertainty, and doubt, and all the screaming and panic about what would happen if marijuana was legalized. Well, the answer is absolutely nothing. Nothing. That's the actual lived experience of it. It's just a non-issue. All right. 7th Avenue, and we're down to 35th. Just a little bit more. We'll be in the Penn Station district. I'll have to use two hands to get my scooter safely down the escalator when we get there, but I might leave the mic on. There's a fellow short sleever, but yeah, everybody is rocking a coat. Some of them pretty good sized coats. Because honestly, if they left the house in the morning, like I said, it's 40 degrees. It's 8 degrees off of freezing, and if there was wind going, it was freezing or below. To be clear, this is May. Even if they knew it was going to be a beautiful day, you can't dress for the day that it's going to be. You got to dress for the day that it is when you leave the house. Yeah, these people are rocking full-on coats here. West 34th. Subway. MTA 1, 2, and 3 train right here. We're not taking any of that. Sound of rolling luggage as we get ready to enter one of the more venerable train stations. I'm going to leave the recorder running. I may not be able to use any of this, but get this scooter inside and down the stairs. It's a situation in the same building, kind of underneath Madison Square Garden. So, Penn Station and Madison Square Garden, same location. Person riding a very, very large fat tire bicycle on the sidewalk right here, which is just insanity. You got all kinds.
This is nothing.
He's right about that. This is nothing. It gets way more crowded than this. All right. Headed down the escalator. 2 hands. Right. A few bumps later, we are down. We are inside of Penn, and we're in the New Jersey portion. So let's check the train schedule. Mine's in green, 111. It's 12:39. So, all right. We've got about 30 minutes, and 30 minutes actually equals 20 minutes because the train boards 10 minutes early. This means that I have time to grab a bite to eat, maybe a slice of pizza, maybe a cup of Starbucks, maybe a donut. No. Yes. Donut. Okay. I think that's all. We'll just go out on some of the sounds of Penn Station. And this has been the Portacapture X8 from Tascam.